Okay, so I thought I'd throw my head into this whole um, feminism and sexual libertarianism argument. Um, to be serious, I made another video talking about the connection between the sex industry and organized crime. There's another industry which tends to attract organized crime, and that's drugs. You know why? Because drugs are illegal, and a lot of people the fact use that organized crime argument to to say why drugs should stay illegal, when in fact they're getting the cart before the horse and say no, organized crime is involved in drugs because they're illegal. Therefore, if we legalize it, we would get organized crime out of that business. Um, so, um, and uh, and so obviously the sex industry, obviously there's the parts of the sex industry that are illegal in many places. The um, obviously prostitution is illegal in most of the United States outside of Nevada. And actually in Nevada, I think they have a very good system of well regulated prostitution that actually minimizes the kind of sex trafficking you're talking about. And of course, there's also like street prostitution there too, which which is underground. Tends to be cheaper than the high priced prostitutes that are in the brothels, like the Bunny Ranch or whatever. Um, but in any case, so the argument is that well, even legal sex industries like strip clubs will attract organized crime. Um, yeah, and I'm sure it does. I mean, the sex industry, to the extent that it's legal, still exists largely on the fringes of society. So yeah, of course, there's going to be some seedy elements that are attracted to that, because I think it's largely as a result of the sort of unhealthy attitudes that people have about sex. This sort of we have this sort of puritanical instinct that creates this kind of um, it creates a kind of unhealthy attitude of sex where we're ashamed of it, but we also still have these primal sexual urges. So there's this cognitive dissonance and that's and I think is yeah. I remember it was Aleister Crowley who once said that a god denied is a demon created, and I think that's kind of what we have with the sex industry. Um, so I mean, I guess what I would like to ask is, um, first of all, do you think that the sex industry could be eliminated altogether? I would say it's pretty naive to think so. I mean, clearly prostitution thrives in areas where it's illegal, um, and if you compare areas the effects of prostitution in areas where it's legal versus where it's illegal, I think you'd find that there's a much greater degree of um, there's a much greater degree of control over the whole sex trafficking industry, and because the prostitutes have legal recourse, to be able to go to the police, and have regulators come in and make sure that the business is operating in a in a legal manner. They're able to look to minimize the amount of sex trafficking that goes on and is associated with those places. So yeah, I mean, are you going to get rid of sex trafficking altogether? Um, you know, I'd like to think so, but it doesn't look like you can. But it seems like I think that sunlight is the best disinfectant. That the more we can be open about sexuality, and have the sex industry be a kind of a something that we don't look the other way on, and that we actually sort of have it in the public limelight, then we can better control the abuses in the industry. Because the alternative is, if we're gonna make it illegal, push it underground, you're not going to get rid of sex trafficking. You're just going to make it more dangerous. So, yeah, I don't think that it's entirely avoidable. But the reason I sided with the sexual libertarianism point of view is because having the industry legal and regulated, like I said, may not get rid of sex trafficking altogether. May not get organized crime entirely out of it, but it would be a big step in that direction. So, that's my thoughts for now. Peace.